Peace and love, fragrance family. Welcome back to the video. So today we're going to be doing the top 10 most complimented fragrances of 2024. Let's get into it.
Everyone knows that I mess around. Surely that don't mean that you can't hold it down.
All right, family. So let's get right into it. Starting off on the list, the first, and these are actually going to be in order from least complimented to most complimented. Starting off the list with the least complimented fragrance of 2024, but good enough to make this video, is none other from the house of Afnan Ornement Pour Homme. Now, this fragrance is like an oriental, sweet, nutmeg, nutty vibe type of pistachio or cashew. When you think about pistachio, cashews, or just like it's more like a fall fragrance, you know. It's a Stronger With You by Emporio Armani clone, and it has a very sweet and sexy nutty note to it. Just like it comes across as I wouldn't say it's a fougere, but it has a gourmand touch to it that's very interesting. And the only gripe that I have about this clone, because it definitely did get it does get some mass appeal coming from Afnan's Ornement Pour Homme. The only thing I would say is just the bottle style is a little bit unwarranted. You know, if this was a game of Tetris maybe, or, you know, other than that, it is unique. Definitely has some unique notes to it. So if you haven't checked this one out yet from the house of Afnan, go ahead and grab Afnan Ornement Pour Homme. You won't be disappointed. Up next on the list from the house of Lattafa, and pretty much you've already seen and heard of this clone before, so let's go ahead and get into it. That's going to be Lattafa My Hair Legacy, which is the My Little Pony, and it has a very sweet, citrus, minty, aquatic fragrance. But you get some notes of, like, I feel like there's like a jasmine, some white florals. There's a mint leaf in here. There's also like some grapefruit and lemon zest up off the top of it. And it settles down into this very aquatic, woody, super sparkling type of scent. That's just very, very, very easy to like, very mass appealing. You know, very citrus forward though. That grapefruit coming up off the top gives it like a citrus juicy burst to it, which is something quite interesting because a lot of people, it is a clone of Parfums de Marly Sedley, but a lot of people compare it to like a toothpaste smelling. I don't necessarily get the toothpaste smelling, but I can understand what they say because it does have a mint leaf note in here. But it's very, 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 very fresh smelling, to say the least. From the house of Lattafa, My Hair Legacy. And you know, you can grab this one, and I think this one is going for like about $20–25. You don't want to miss this one if you haven't had it yet from the year 2024. This is a good compliment getter. Up next from the house of Pascal Morabito. This is not a clone, but it is an expensive fragrance that seems like it should be on this list. There may be, I don't think, and the reason why I say that is because I haven't smelled a fragrance, nor do I know of a fragrance that this is cloning, and I haven't smelled a fragrance similar to this clone. From the house of Pascal Morabito, Sea of Stars. And what's interesting about this fragrance is it has a sweet juniper berry note, and the juniper berry carries this fragrance. It's more like a sweet, sensual, seductive type of smell. I could see this being worn. If you are very dark or very type of secret type of person, you might get away with wearing this to the office. But this is more of a seductive style date night fragrance scent, if you ask my opinion. Very sensual, very seductive, very sweet with that juniper berry, along with some woods, and it smells like smells of amber as well too. So it's very sweet and woody forward. Up next on the list from the house of Al Haramain, we got Kingsman. Now, what's interesting with this one and the last fragrance is these both have that juniper berry note. Now you see the atomizer on this one is just it's almost damn near pressurized. And for this fragrance, I mean, you need to go ahead and cop this if you haven't had this yet. I mean, it's a very smooth juniper berry fragrance, very similar kind of to almost like the Pascal Meravito, but this one is more of not as fresh, not as almost aquatic smelling as the Pascal Meravito. Not that this is aquatic, but this one is more so lenient on heavily more on that sweet vanilla amber tonka bean type of flavor. And it also comes down, it has a little bit of woods in the background with some sandalwood instead of cedarwood, so you get more of that sweet toned in closer date night type of style fragrance from the Al Haramain Kingsman. So you might want to check this one out from the house of Al Haramain Kingsman. Up next on the list, we got Maturity Blue from also the house of Al Haramain as well too. Now this is a clone of Bleu de Chanel, and the atomizer is quite bad on this fragrance, but it makes up for it in the scent profile, and it is a very sensual fragrance. The only downside to this fragrance that I would have is that I would like for it to last a little bit longer. I would like for it to be a little bit more, project a little bit more, but the scent of Bleu de Chanel is there. Very strong, very woody, very sweet, lemony, floral type of fragrance. And you get some strong, and it smells like Ambroxan is in here as well too. So it has a very strong blue nature to it, if you know what I mean by blue nature, from the house of Al Haramain, Maturity Blue. Up next, we got from the house of Rave, or house of Lattafa, Rave Now. And this is Pineapple Heaven. The only thing that I dislike about this fragrance, is actually the same thing I like about this fragrance, which is that it is very pineapple heavy. So it's pineapple heavy to the degree that it may be a little bit too pineapple for some people. And it's interesting because this is a navy blue bottle and it has like a goldish pineapple colored juice, and this is exactly what it smells like. It smells like a blue fragrance with that big blast of pineapple and woods in the background. Very nice, from the house of Lattafa, or Rave, and it's called Now. Could have came up with a better name, but it is what it is. Up next on the list is from the house of John Riche, and it's called The Rich List. And this is one of my gatekeepers because, well, for starters, it's meant to be, I'm guessing it's meant to be like a Creed Aventus clone, but it is more or less a sweet, fruity, vanilla-based type fragrance. And you get some spice in here as well too. It has like a pepper or pink pepper note along with some sweet, woody nuances to it. And it's very, very, I think this one out of all the ones I got is the most unique, especially when it comes to the Creed Aventus style DNA. You got fragrances that use the notes of pineapple, and it comes across more like a spicy style fragrance. So you want to check this one out from the house of John Riche, The Rich List. Up next on the list, we got from the house of Afnan, and we got Taratti Brown. And this is a clone of YSL Tuxedo, and it is a very, very good clone of it. You get some sweet, sexy. It's almost like it's very seductive. I mean, this is a 10 out of 10 from the house of Afnan. Tuxedo, the way it's done is just, you can't really copy that DNA without cloning it. You know, it just has a very unique style of DNA to it, which has that woods, those sweet notes. I believe it has a note of praline, like a caramel style, mocha style, a little bit, it's almost like fruity, but it's like very sensual, very seductive, something you really have to get your nose on to really get into the order and style of how this fragrance is constructed. It's beautiful. From the house of Afnan, Taratti Brown. Up next on the list, we got from the house of Fragrance World, Parfums Dome Sport. And this is a clone of Dior Homme Sport 2020. And man, the aldehydes and the woods and citrus in this fragrance is so beautiful, so strong, and so heavy that you can't go wrong with it. Whether it's a gym scent or just a fragrance that you wear out and going about, this is very much an office style fragrance. And it's just beautiful, compliment pulling clone. So you can't. This is another 10 out of 10, another compliment pulling beast that you guys should get y'all nose on. And last on the list, we have Fire Your Desire from the House of Fragrance World. Fire Your Desire from your House of Paris Corner. And it's a very sweet, sensual clone of by Killian's Angel Cherry. You got that rum with the boozy rum with some woods, with some praline, with some saffron. And it's just a very sweet, seductive style fragrance that's very unique. And this fragrance is definitely going to get you some big, juicy pussy bunny. So check these clones out from these houses, and let me know y'all opinion of them. Peace and love, fragrance family.
Everyone knows that I